When I was a child, if a movie wasn't showing in the local theater, there was only one way to watch it, on TV. And once a year, you could always count on a network broadcast of the classic The Wizard of Oz. I don't remember the first time I saw The Wizard of Oz. I am sure it was on a black and white TV. The room we watched it in had a line drawn on the floor in nail polish 6 feet from the screen. We had to watch from behind that line, or some mysterious rays from the TV were going to ruin our eyesight. Or so we were told. There were probably a half a dozen siblings in the room with me, 3 of whom were in the room today with us. And it was comforting not to be watching it alone, because at times the movie scared the bejesus out of me. And yet I loved it. 50-something years later, one thing has remained the same and one thing has changed. I still love the movie. And I'm pleased to report I no longer wake up in the middle of the night with night terrors involving flying monkeys. It is safe to say that The Wizard of Oz is the movie I've watched the most in my life. There is not a close second. Those of you who remember the movie will easily recall the links to Amara. In the movie, Dorothy is uprooted. She is taken from her home in a sudden and chaotic way. In trying to get back home, she travels a long distance, confronts dangers, and learns to trust the kindness of strangers. Can you relate to that yearning to get back to where you belong? She had to get home. She knew that was all that mattered. Yet, even through all of her trials and tribulations, Dorothy never gives up hope. She finds allies in the characters of the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, Cowardly Lion, and the Wizard. They become united in one goal: to return Dorothy to her home. On that note, let me tell you about one of the over 80 children that Amara placed in adoptive homes last year. Just before Thanksgiving, a teenager chose to leave his foster home to move into an Amara adoptive home. Even at 17 years of age, he has refused to let go of his dream to find his forever family. Dorothy has nothing on him. The Wizard of Oz speaks to me because it values home and family above all else. As the movie artfully conveys, the things that matter most in life are under our own roof, to be with those we love and who also love us. It was many years before I realized that Dorothy did not live with her biological parents. Annie M. and Uncle Henry were her mom and dad. She was well loved. That was obvious and all that mattered. So loving that movie as much as I do, it doesn't surprise me that my work here at Amara feeds my soul. We are helping find a forever home for every child. What could be more rewarding? Tragically, not every child in our community has a family and a home. That is why there is an Amara, for the thousands of children in foster care needing, wishing, and waiting for an adoptive family and a home of their own. These children do not have a Scarecrow, a Tin Man, or a Cowardly Lion to help them return safely home or to find a new forever family. These children do have strong hearts, good brains, and courage. They just need a childhood to discover and develop them. That is where we come in, all of us. This is not someone else's responsibility, it is ours. Thank you. Every child should have an Auntie Em and Uncle Henry in their life, and of course a home, a source of comfort, a place to recharge, a place that accepts us as we are, and hopefully a safe haven to feed our soul and lift our heart. Every child, let's face it, every one of us here, needs to know there is a place in our life and in our heart that we call home. Oh, how I wish Amara had a pair of ruby slippers for every child who needed a home. We do, however, have an exceptional staff, scores of outstanding families, and we have you. A community who cares and who knows that every child deserves the love and support of a family. Last year, I sat with my son Brad and had yet another fix of The Wizard of Oz. And I don't know if it was the little kid in me, the adult, or both, but I am still moved by the final scene of that movie. You see, in the last scene, Dorothy says, "We're home, home, and this is my room, and you're all here, and I'm not going to leave here ever, ever again, because I love you all. And oh, Auntie M, there's no place like home."